With that report, former Labor strategist Bruce Hawker is with me. This is all fairly unedifying, isn't it?
It is, and I think it reflects the dire straits that the Labor Party's in at the moment. That poll on the weekend would have us losing 34 seats, which is very bad.
You embarrassed by it?
Well, I'm not personally embarrassed by it, but I do think that...
You're a Labor man. It's pretty embarrassing.
I think that they really need just to focus on the fight ahead, and I think the seriousness of the problem is really starting to dawn on a lot of people. With that sort of a number, we'd lose 34 seats. That's a big drop.
But this kind of behaviour is not going to make anyone more inclined to vote for Labor, is it?
No, I don't think it is, and I think they've just got to get through the next couple of weeks and then get out onto the hustings and show some discipline. You know, the opposition's showing a fair bit of discipline now, and I think Labor's just got to do the same thing. They made their bed, now they've got to line it. They've just got to make sure that they make the most of what they're doing rather than fighting amongst themselves.
Is it deliberate mischief-making, or is it just utter chaos?
Well, I think in the case of Joel Fitzgibbon, the polls were so bad it was just impossible to spin it, so he thought he'd make light of it rather than just try to run a line, which was always going to be quite implausible.
But broadly speaking, do you think that these people are trying to make manoeuvres, or is it, as it appears, just a great big mess?
I think it's largely as it appears right now. I don't think there's any strategy behind this at all. I think there are serious players there, you know, saying, look, the Prime Minister should come out and be unscripted and allow her ministers and backbenchers to be unscripted as well. And there's some validity in that, although you do really need to be getting a, pretty consistent message across. But it shouldn't sound like you're an automaton, and I think that's the problem they've got at the moment.
Is it too late to make a change?
In the leadership?
Yeah.
Oh, I think they've made their mind up that it's going to be Julia now, and so that might account for some of the distress in the ranks as they realise the enormity of the challenge. But they've had plenty of opportunity to change. They've got no intention, it would appear to me, to do so. So now they've just got to knuckle down.
You mentioned the polls showing 30 or so seats that they might lose. Could it, in your view, be worse than that?
I don't think so. I think historically the worst swings we've seen against us, 1975 we had a 30-seat loss. In 1996 with Keating we lost 31. That tends to be the the upper end of these swings. But if that...
But if this kind of behaviour continues, presumably you could expect things to get worse. I mean, it's pretty disgraceful behaviour,
well,
isn't it, from some of them?
You could. I mean, I think they've got to start focusing on Tony Abbott. I mean, there's a lot of skin to be taken off Tony Abbott if they want to really start looking at him. He's very much a mid-20th century sort of a bloke. The more that they look at him and his policies, the black holes in their funding, the fact that they've got no real climate change policy, I think those are the sort of things that if they focus will make the public start to think that maybe they should be, thinking twice about not voting for the Labor Party.
All right, Bruce Hawker, we'll leave it there. Thanks for coming in tonight. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Amy.